This is how Rogue One, a Star Wars story, could have been better. Rogue One isn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. It just has some very clear flaws that hold it back from being truly great. The most obvious of which is Jyn.
State your name for the record.
Jyn Erso.
Jyn is what's known as a passive protagonist. If you want to know more about what a passive protagonist is, you should really check out the Lessons from the Screenplay YouTube channel. He has a video there that really clears up what this means and why it's a problem. Link in the description. But here's why Jyn appears passive. Things happen to her rather than because of her through most of the movie.
Congratulations. You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
We need to stop this weapon before it is finished.
Captain Andor's mission is to authenticate the pilot's story and then, if possible, find your father.
It appears he is critical to the development of this super weapon. Given the gravity of the situation and your history with Saul, we're hoping that he will help us locate your father and return him to the Senate for testimony.
What's truly disappointing, though, is that this isn't the Jyn or even the movie we were told we were going to get.
On your own from the age of 15, reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined.
This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
From this teaser, a very interesting story is hinted at. Jyn is a reckless enemy of the Empire, looking to impress the rebellion and earn a spot in their ranks. And this alternate version isn't only hinted at for Jyn in the teaser, but also for Saw.
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
From the teaser, it appears that Saw was also once a reckless enemy of the Empire, but has since given up because of how much it cost him. This is so strange because Saw and Jyn's ideologies are almost completely switched from that in the actual movie.
So what is it that you want, Jyn?
They wanted an introduction, they've got it. I'm out now. The rest of you can do what you want.
You care not about the cause.
The cause? Seriously? The Alliance, the rebels, whatever it is you're calling yourself these days. All it's ever brought me is pain.
You can stand to see the Imperial flag reign across the galaxy.
It's not a problem if you don't look up.
If they had gone with what was originally advertised to us, then Jyn would have been a much more compelling character. It's easy to get behind a character with a cause, but in the movie Jyn appears to not want to do anything. She's forced to do things because of other characters. This kind of passivity is funny for satire.
You found the piece of resistance, and the prophecy states that you are the most important, most talented, most interesting, and most extraordinary person in the universe. That's you, right?
Yes. That's me.
But it doesn't really work for a serious take such as Rogue One. So what else would have helped make Rogue One great? Get rid of this scene.
Poor Gullet. No lie is safe.
This serves no purpose. It's supposed to read Bodhi's mind to find out if he's lying about defecting from the Empire, but this is a creature. How does Saw speak to it? And if he can't, then how does he know whether Bodhi's lying or not? It doesn't even matter either way because we never find out if Saw got the truth from the Borgully. Just lose it. It doesn't change anything if you just edit out the scene. Watch.
I'm just worried they might miss you and hit me.
Doesn't sound so bad to me.
So what else? Well, save Darth Vader till the end. The scene with Vader and Krennic on Mustafar is just as pointless as the because 1. This Bowser castle is never seen again. 2. Krennic could have just gone straight to Scarif and it wouldn't have changed the plot at all. But if you really want to have this scene, then have it take place somewhere we know Vader would be at this point in time. Like on a Star Destroyer. In fact, it appears that it was set on a Star Destroyer in the trailer.
The power that we are dealing with here is immeasurable.
3. If this scene was gone, then we wouldn't have to suffer through Vader's attempt at stand-up.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
Four. Look, I love James Earl Jones just as much as the next fanboy, but his Vader is sounding wonky. It used to be sharp and commanding. Now it's just kind of bellowy and slow.
The Senate has been informed that Jeddah was destroyed in a mining disaster.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Its power to create problems has certainly been confirmed.
Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive.
An Imperial facility openly attacked?
He will join us or die, Master.
There is no Death Star. You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegrations. I expect you not to rest until you can assure the Emperor that Galen Erso has not compromised this weapon in any way.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
5. And the final reason this scene should be removed is because when your first full sight of Vader is this in the movie. Priceless. But if you really have to hear James Earl Jones, then here's where you do it. Vader just mopped the floor with rebel guts, and Leia's Tantive 4 shuttle escapes. A stormtrooper approaches Darth Vader and says, "What are your orders, sir?" "We will stop those rebels by any means necessary, but I want them alive." "Yes, sir." So could anything else make Rogue One better? Yeah, just a few more things. Give the characters depth. I love Chirrut, Baze, and Cassian, but they are in some dire need of some development. Let's start with Baze and Chirrut. Here's what we get of their story in the movie.
Who are they?
The Guardians of the Wills. Protectors of the Kyber Temple. But there's nothing left to protect, so now they're just causing trouble for everybody.
Instead of hearing from Cassian who they are/were, why don't we hear it from them? It would have been interesting to hear them argue after Jyn and Cassian left. Chirrut wants to follow Jyn because the Force is calling him to do so, and Baze doesn't want to get involved with strangers. In their argument, Baze could say something like this. "You're not a guardian of the temple anymore. There isn't even a reason to protect it anyway. They took everything." And then Chirrut responds, "Not everything." And then Chirrut goes to follow Jyn.
Where are you going? I'm gonna follow Jyn. Our path is clear. Alone? Good luck. I don't need luck. I have you.
The destruction of Jeddah could have even given Baze greater hatred of the Empire. Again, it seems like this was the case in the trailer.
We destroyed our home. I fight the Empire now.
I fear nothing. All is as the Force wills it.
So what about Cassian?
What do you know? We don't all have the luxury of deciding when and where we want to care about something. Suddenly the rebellion is real for you. Some of us live it. I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old.
How? Why? What happened? I don't want to read about it in some book. Cassian's a pretty important character in this movie, and we should know what we need to know about him in this movie to care about him.
You tossers! You had one job to do!
Here are the last few things that Rogue One needed. I'll give them rapid fire because this video is getting a little bit long. Let Cassian die right here.
Cassian!
Jyn should have killed Krennic out of revenge for tearing her family apart, because it would have been interesting to see a Star Wars hero take the path of revenge for once. And the Death Star plans should have been stored in one building, and the transmitter should have been in another building, so that we could get this scene.